Conversations with Nicole. Let's talk about it. Tell me all about it. I'm here. I wanna know what's on your mind. Ooh, the world needs to hear from you, and I'm so glad to have a conversation to reach the nation. And it's all about you. We'll help each other to discover innovative ways to positively change the world. Let's talk about let's talk about let's talk about conversations with Nicole.
Greetings. Welcome to Conversations with Nicole. I am Nicole Everett, your host, and Conversations with Nicole is a talk show based in Tallahassee, Florida, focused on connecting the community through conversations. And today is what I call Wellness Wednesday, which is an opportunity for you, me, and my guests to talk about something interesting and intriguing. And today we are continuing our discussion on fair housing because fair housing is under attack. And so our topic is fair housing, advocate or advocating for yourself. And my very special guest is Mr. Vince Larkins, who is down in Palm Beach County. He's with the Fair Housing Center there. And we are going to have a delightful conversation. Shout out to Miss Kenya Robertson, who connected me with Vince. I think our paths have crossed before because I know he has been to Tallahassee several times. He has some Tallahassee roots, which he's going to tell us about in just a little bit. But before I bring him on, I need to hear from you. Where are you tuning in from? Let us know in the comments. We are live on Facebook, on YouTube, and on LinkedIn. Your comments, your questions are very much so welcome. And we invite you to please like and share and tag a friend and encourage them to join our conversation. I see my buddy, Mr. Marcus Boston, is already on here down in the Tampa Bay area. Thank you for being here, Mr. Marcus. Appreciate you so much. So I know that will be more of you joining us, but I am going to go ahead for the sake of time and share Mr. Larkins' bio. Vince Larkins is the president and CEO of the Watchdog Fair Housing Center of the Greater Palm Beaches and a member of the National Fair Housing Alliance Board of Directors, where he is chairman of the Government Affairs Advisory Committee. He is recognized as one of the foremost advocates on Capitol Hill and the state of Florida in the fight to make Dr. King's dream of fair housing come to fruition. Today, the FHCGPB, which is the Fair Housing Center of the Greater Palm Beaches, spearheaded by Mr. Larkins, is nationally known for its efforts in supporting and encouraging equal housing opportunities for victims of housing discrimination since 2000 by partnering and directly assisting in millions of dollars in financial recovery nationwide and in the state of Florida. Under his watch, thousands of housing units have been opened on an equal opportunity basis in the state of Florida since, again, the year 2000. And his dedicated advocacy and commitment to freedom for all has earned him the reputation and credibility required to effectively network with elected and non-elected officials, various religious denominations, public agencies, private, civic, and community-based groups, immigrant organizations, homeless organizations, disability groups, housing industry providers, lenders, and the electronic print media, and those making fair housing for all people closer to a reality. So y'all help me welcome Mr. Vince Larkins. Yay! Welcome, welcome.
Hello, Nicole. How are you?
I'm well. How you doing?
Oh, I'm doing well. It's
Good.
both a privilege and an honor to be with you this evening.
Well, it
Talk
is my
about
pleasure.
something very important.
Absolutely. It's my pleasure to have you. Again, as we already know, fair housing is under attack, so we got to definitely bring this conversation to the forefront. But before we dive in, I want to hear from you. Who is Vince Larkins? I know I shared a little bit about your work, your career, your profession, but tell us who you are in your own words, not what you do, but who are you?
Well, you know, I just want to touch base with people on a personal basis. I was born and raised in West Palm Beach, Florida, and I'm not going to give away my age. You already said that I've been doing this since 2000, right? So that's going to be as much as I go with that. But my roots run very deep, as I was saying, in Tallahassee. In 1956, my aunt, Wilhelmina Street, and Carrie Patterson refused to get off a bus in Tallahassee. And she told me the story. She said, Vince, all I wanted was my dime back. And the bus driver said no and pulled the bus to the side. And
Wow.
the police came aboard. He went to the phone booth, called the police.
Mhm.
Imagine that happening to anyone, right? And the police came and said, "You girls want to ride? I'll give you a ride." Took them off to jail, and that action sparked the historic bus boycott of
In
1956.
Yeah, in Tallahassee.
Yeah, well, a cross was burned in front of their apartment
Wow.
in the middle of the night, and the student body was so upset
Mm.
that they called a meeting, and then Reverend Still, and everyone got involved, and it sparked the Tallahassee bus boycott of 1956.
Yes.
And her name is on the footsteps, one of the footsteps in a memorial downtown Tallahassee called Footsteps to Freedom. Right there.
Yes.
Her name is there. And
Yes.
she is on my mother's side. She's my mother's sister.
Wow.
On my father's side, his youngest brother, his name, may he rest in peace, his name was William Larkins. Back in 1960, he led the student body. He was the student body president of Florida A&M, and
Mm-hmm.
he led sit-ins
Wow.
at the lunch counter.
Wow.
And
Wow.
he went to jail also, and um, his name is one of the footsteps also. So when people ask me, I say, well, mother's side and father's side, I guess I got it honestly.
You absolutely get it honest. It is running that blood is running all through your veins,
It
right?
runs all through my veins. The the
Hmm.
the, the bus boycott. Many people think that the Wilmington uh, and Wilmington sit-ins was the first one, but Florida A&M was the first student-led
Mm.
boycott in modern civil rights history,
Wow.
1956.
Wow. And a lot of people don't know that
A
history.
lot of people don't know it.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And next year will be quite a monumental year. You said 1956. So we're looking at what, 70?
Yeah.
Yeah, 70
Hmm.
years. Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah.
They do have some recognitions here locally regarding that, and so
They have a street named after her and Carrie Patterson,
they
my
do.
aunt and Carrie Patterson, and
They do.
several other things.
They do. They
Uh, the city of Tallahassee has really stepped forward. The
do.
last time I was there for the Footsteps to Freedom and the whole 9 yards, anybody can go online and watch it. Uh,
Yes.
in partnership with the students from Florida State. Uh,
Hmm.
and the students from Florida State participated in the sit-ins also. Uh,
Yes.
so anyone interested in that history, just Google Footsteps to Freedom Tallahassee, and
Yes.
you will learn a lot.
Absolutely. So I want to acknowledge someone who has joined us, my mom, who was down in my
Oh, hi, Mom.
Hey, Ma, thank you for being here. So again, I just I thank you for sharing your family's rich history. But fair housing is something that is near and dear to my heart, having worked in affordable housing for a few decades now. Um, gosh, I'm telling my age, saying that, but if everybody needs a safe, decent, affordable place to live, right? And if you don't, then there's going to be high stress. It's going to be difficult for the adults to work, the children to do what they need to do in school, and so that's why we have you, right?
Well, that's why we have me along with many, many dedicated people.
Hmm.
Uh, then again, shout out to Kenya Robinson because she connected us.
Yes.
But you have people on a state level with, of course, the Florida Commission, who we work in partnership with, great
Hmm.
partners. Uh, Palm Beach Office Equal Opportunity here and other agencies. Uh, Also, the legal aid societies are very, very important. And
Yes.
then again, the National Fair Housing Alliance. Um, just to share my background for a little bit when it comes to
Please. Yeah.
I served on the Fair Housing Equal Employment Board in Palm Beach County for a very, very long time.
Hmm.
And that was one of the highlights of my career because it taught me to see things from an administrative point of view. Uh, we are a watchdog agency, we're a nonprofit, we are advocates.
Hmm.
Um, and then I was one of the first members of the Commission on Affordable Housing, where I was the chair for a lot of years. So that helped me understand the importance of affordable housing and the connect of fair housing.
Hmm.
Because if you can't find affordable housing, you don't need fair housing because you're going to be rejected everywhere, right?
Hmm.
And if you don't have fair housing, you will not get affordable housing.
Hmm.
And then later on, working to establish two community land trusts. One is the Palm Beach County and uh, Treasure Coast Community Land Trust, and
Okay.
serving on the board for another land trust in Delray Beach has
Okay.
given me a firm background in housing that has allowed me and my staff to do what we do. And again, shout out to them because I couldn't do what I do without the dedicated staff at the Fair Housing Center, as well as our dedicated board members.
Indeed. So tell us a little bit about your staff from the standpoint of kind of what the things that you all kind of cover in your office.
Well, we cover a variety of things.
Okay.
We take complaints when someone believes they've been discriminated against,
Mm-hmm.
and they either call on the hotline
Okay.
or they can file a plaint at www.fairhousingflorida.com.
Mm-hmm.
They can go to and this is when you have young people in your office, you're able to say this. They can go to Facebook
Mm-hmm.
and they can contact us. They can go to Instagram.
Mm-hmm.
They can go to X or they can even go to TikTok.
Oh my goodness. Y'all
So,
fancy.
so as a watchdog agency, our task and our main task is enforcement through our testing and investigations program.
Mm-hmm.
And testing is where two people are paired as similar as possible, except in one thing. One might be black, one might be white, one might be Latina, right?
Mm-hmm.
One might be white, right? Or someone who is testing on the basis of a disability.
Mm-hmm.
We do those things, which is the core of our what we do, in order to ascertain and find the level of compliance with fair housing laws. And in
Okay.
fact, what I like to, I'm going to share something with you pertaining to that.
Okay. You want to cue up the video?
You see it?
Yes.
Okay. Hold on.
All
Oops.
right.
Okay. Now, I must warn everybody. It's an old man with a mouse in his hand.
It's all right. Take your time. We got a few more folks that have joined us. Okay, we lost it, so you got to pull it back up on
Okay.
the share screen. So while you're doing that, I'm gonna acknowledge some more folks that have joined us. Miss Tracy Gole, thank you for being here, brother Ako,
You
and
see it now?
no,
No.
in Sneed.
Okay, let me go back
Okay.
and I'll
Miss
just.
Letitia here in Tallahassee, Dante, who was on with me last Wednesday here in Tallahassee.
Hey,
Thank
my
you for
man.
being here, Dante. Danita from Tallahassee, thank you for being here. And Karina from West Palm Beach, Karina Mack, thank you for being here. We appreciate you. All right,
Okay.
so hit that plus.
Okay. I'm going to hit the window.
Mm-hmm.
Share. There?
Okay. Go. Yep. There we
Okay.
go.
Six families from Pahokee say
Mhm.
they
We having a little bit of internet problems, sound like.
were kicked out of their homes illegally to make way for registered sex offenders. Now lawyers.
He knows technology is a
Have you found somewhere yet? The knocking came after this letter that White and other families that anyone with children under the age of 18 had to be out of their homes by January 1st. I thought it was.
So Vince, it sounds like our audio is kind of in and out. Can y'all hear? Let us know in the comments if you can hear the video.
Nasty. I mean, it was over the holiday. To give sex offenders a place to live without children nearby is beside the point.
It does not excuse the fact, and is certainly not permissible under the law to simply evict all the families with children because you've decided that you have a better.
Couldn't comment on the litigation, which was filed within the 2-year statute of limitations. If the case does go to court, a trial date could be at least a year away. John Shaman, WPTV, News Channel 5.
Now the property owners have 30 days to respond to the lawsuit.
A fight over fair housing's come to an end in Pahokee, and News Channel 5's Jay Kashmir standing by at our live desk with what's happening now. Jay?
Michael, since 2008, residents who were kicked out of Pelican Lake Village in Pahokee have been fighting against housing used to be full of families to lease the entire property to release to vacate. Well, now a jury has awarded more than $1 million to 7 families who were forced.
All right, so we having some technical issues here. So I'm gonna I see folks are saying they can't really hear it. It's kind of in and out, buffering. So my apologies on that. And it looks like we lost Vince, but hopefully he'll be back shortly. So I'm gonna take a point of privilege here. I had Dante on last Wednesday, and we were talking about fair housing, and we talked about the protected classes. And so there are 7 on a federal level, and those include race, color, national origin, religion, familial status, disability, and oh, I'm forgetting one. I can't remember what it is. But anyway, uh, can anybody guess? And Vince is going to join us back in just a moment. Can anybody guess which one of those protected classes? Oh, sex. That's what it was. Which one of those protected classes typically receive the most complaints? The most complaints. Which one of those protected classes? Again, race, color, religion, um, familial status, disability, sex, and oh, I always forget one. It'll come back to me. Which one of those do you think receives the most complaints? The most complaints are filed. Let us know in the comments if you don't mind sharing. I think folks will be really surprised to find out which one receives the most complaints. And Dante, if you're still on, you can't answer this question because you know the answer. All right, so let us know. I think Vince is back on now, so I'm gonna pop him back in. All right,
Thank
Vince, we
you.
good?
Yeah, I'm good. I'm sorry about that. I don't know why it was buffering. It was good on this end, so
Yeah,
that's that technology stuff.
I,
I should have included this, and my apologies. I should have included this in when we were prepping last week.
uh-huh.
And remember, I was telling you that when I was young, I used to be like, "Why aren't the Temptations coming out right away and singing?" Right? Well, things have to. The technical stuff has to be worked out, but
It does.
uh, but Dante, you can't share with anyone. Okay, no sharing. Right? Um, the thing about fair housing is that most people think of fair housing as just a black and white issue. But
Mm-hmm.
fair housing affects the lives of over 4 million people a year. Uh,
Mm,
Rather, it's based on their race and color, national origin, their religion, their familial status, meaning the presence of minor children under 18, right? Their disability or their gender. Could it sometime in their life fall victim to housing discrimination? We're
mm,
talking about veterans. We're talking about uh, uh, workers who do the most critical job, first responders. We're talking about ordinary Americans who can fall victim or have fallen victim to housing discrimination.
mm-hmm.
But the saddest part of it is that most people do not file fair housing complaints. They are content with just moving on with their lives,
Mm-hmm.
and then that individual that is harming our community continues to harm our community.
Right.
So it's important that people get involved.
Yes, it is. All right. So some folks have responded. Sex. All right, is one response. We got disability, and we got race. Miss Ruthie Flanders, thank you for joining us. So,
So
Vince, let them know what.
a gold star to those who chose disability.
Yes, disability. Disability is the protected class that receives the most complaints.
Yes, and just to piggyback on that, we have several cases. One where there just was a charge issued through our testing program
Mm-hmm.
based on disabilities, and it's based on the fact that um, developers, rental agents
Mm-hmm.
would not give a reasonable accommodation to a mobility challenged person to have an assigned parking space
Mm.
or a designated space either uh, with the handicap parking space
Mm-hmm.
or just a designated parking space closer to their unit so that they could get to their unit easier.
Wow.
And we're talking about spaces that are not um, like, for instance, you might have a condo association and that's your parking space you paid for. And this
Mm-hmm.
person, we're not talking about this. These are unassigned parking spaces, right?
Okay.
And what they were doing is charging, one place was charging 50 and one place was charging 100 a month
Mm.
for a
Wow.
disabled person. So imagine our veterans, they no matter what, they follow their orders and they go off, which I am a veteran, You know.
Okay. Thank you for your service.
Yes, United States Infantry Center,
Hmm.
a platoon leader, um, and that person comes back and only to find themselves, after fighting for freedom, only to find themselves the victim of housing discrimination solely based on their disability.
Wow.
So it is not surprising to us in the fair housing profession, especially when we live in a state where there are so many seniors. Okay? There are so
Wow.
many seniors.
There
So
are. There are.
yes, so it's important that people with disabilities report what's happening to them. And we do get calls. We do
Mm.
get calls. We just don't throw a dart, close our eyes and throw a dart and say, okay, go to this place. Throw a dart, go to this place. We're a community-based organization,
Mm-hmm.
and we are in the community and we hear things. Okay? And we react when we can substantiate the truth of the particular information that we are receiving. It's not always the correct information. Someone might think something is happening.
Mm-hmm.
But what we try to tell people is, if you think it's happening, give it to us. It's up to us to vet that information, and then if it's warranted, to follow up on it with our enforcement actions that we undertake.
Okay. Wow. Amazing. So you serve on the National Fair Housing Alliance Board of Directors, which is kind of a big deal, Vince. Um,
Well, it's really not. All it means is that every 3 months, I go to the airport. They put me in this tin can and fly me to DC. I get out of that tin can, go to my hotel. Then I'm up
mhm.
early Thursday morning. That's on a Wednesday. Up early Thursday morning, and we're briefed on the information that we want to provide to our uh, legislators, our
Mm,
senators, and our legislators. Right. Then we walk those halls of Congress. I
mm.
used to wonder, Nicole, why they call it the halls of Congress. Those halls are as long as a street block.
Yeah, they
So we
are.
walked the halls of Congress. I had meetings with Congressman Brian Mast' office, Congresswoman Lois Frankel, Congresswoman McCormick, uh, Congressman uh, Maskowitz.
Hmm.
I hope I pronounced his name right. I
So
apologize
we,
if I didn't.
so
Uh,
you're educating them, right?
So we educate them, let them know uh, that these programs, how vital these programs, through personal stories that our organizations go through,
Yeah.
like the one I just said, the investigations that we conducted, where we have a charge from the FAP agency, which is the Palm Beach County Office of Equal Opportunity,
Hmm.
and they issued a charge, a cause finding, and we have two more, which basically are the same facts. People with disabilities being charged for a designated parking spot that they're supposed to get free under the Federal Fair Housing Act, and we have taken that action in concert. We work in concert, as I say, with our partners in the state and local level,
Hmm.
and being on the Fair Housing National Fair Housing Alliance Board of Directors has been a great honor. On the serious side, it's
Yeah.
been a great honor. I've been on the board for over 20 years,
Wow.
and it's something that allows our community in the state of Florida. I'm presently the only one on the board of directors for the National Fair Housing Alliance in the state of Florida.
Mm.
Kenya Robinson, who was formerly the president of Hope Incorporated, has moved on to bigger and better things.
Yes.
She was the chairperson of the board. And I have been involved going to DC on a quarterly basis. I'm giving away my age now. I hate to
Yeah,
do it. For over 20 years.
we said that. Yeah.
Over 20 years. But it's been one of the honors of my life. I have met so many interesting people and so many people in government, which has allowed me to serve the people of Florida and uh, just ordinary people who would not have access to those resources if I did not serve on the board. It's
Indeed.
just a privilege and an honor. And I
Indeed.
was just elected last year to another 3 years. So
Oh, wow. Well, congratulations on that.
thank you.
All right. So we have a few more folks that have joined us. I want to acknowledge Dr. Latanya White, who might be in DC. She might be here in Tallahassee. She might be in Miami. No telling, but she's a Rattler from Miami. Appreciate you being here.
Strike, strike.
That's right. And strike again. That's it.
Oh, that's right. I forgot that part.
Brother Quasi in Atlanta is on. Thank you for being here. And Brother Malcolm, who is here in Tallahassee. Dante is saying that the video is in and out. So I know technology can be challenging. So y'all just hang on in there with us. Hopefully it'll be mostly in and not mostly out. All right. But
That's my fault. That's my fault, Dante, because I sprung a surprise on Nicole when I should have worked with her and when we did a prep last week. So that's all on me. Okay.
That's all right. That's all right. We're going to roll with it. So we're a little more than halfway through our conversation. For those of you who are just tuning in, I am on with Mr. Vince Larkins, and we are talking fair housing, advocate for yourself. And Vince is with the Fair Housing Center in Palm Beach, Greater Palm Beach, the Greater Palm Beaches, and serves on the National Fair Housing Alliance that is based in Washington, D.C. And so, you talked about, Vince, that there are fair housing discrepancies that happen on a regular, right? And folks tend not to maybe get involved because maybe they think that it's just this person being a jerk. I don't have any recourse. There's nothing really I can do. It's my word against theirs. How am I going to prove anything? Or they might not even think that they're in a protected class, for that matter, right? And so, that's what your office is for. That's what Dante's office, and Dante is based here in Tallahassee, and he is a fair housing advocate and worker practitioner, excuse me, on a state level. But that's what you all are here for, right?
Yes, we're there for that. And also, let me add, you have the Florida Commission.
Mm-hmm.
Call them or call um, Hope Incorporated if you're farther south of us. Okay. But the thing with us is that whoever we get a call from, no matter what part of the state, we can connect people to someone closer than them. Because some people still, like to come in the office,
Mm-hmm.
and we can connect people closer or facilitate a process where we can work them through the process, get them to file their complaint with the appropriate agency, right?
Yes.
So that they can get the help they need. And if that doesn't happen, then a person is just left powerless. And that's the most important thing as an advocate that I can share is helping people understand their power and getting people. It's one thing to know your power. It's another thing knowing how to use your power in order to make the change that you want to happen. And with what's going on, the present state of affairs, where you have a massive Doge massively cutting. I don't know if it's still operating like it used to, but it did enough to where the massive cuts in funding for these activities, right? And some small funding to organizations, but not the level of funding that was before.
Right.
You have a situation where redlining is no longer going to be enforced. Okay, that is a stated position of the federal government, that redlining will not be enforced. And redlining is a big deal.
Yeah.
Now, fortunately, but let me preempt myself before I go into more detail.
Okay.
Fortunately, you have state agencies like the Florida Commission and local organizations that we have in Palm Beach County to use and to reach out to, because they do investigations for HUD. But unfortunately, on a federal level, which I have a responsibility as a member of the board of directors for the National Fair Housing Alliance, not only the state of Florida, but also our entire nation, that the fact that uh, redlining will no longer be enforced by our federal government is a big deal.
It is.
The fact that I'm sorry, but the fact that affirmatively furthering fair housing rule, which we worked very, very hard over the last 10 years, right? And it finally came out. And that is a rule that was requiring every municipality that received community development block grant or other federal dollars had to certify that they are affirmatively furthering fair housing. I think best way to say that is that they basically are operating in a non-discriminatory way with funds and so forth, and not perpetuating segregation in the housing market.
Right.
That's gone. Okay? That is gone. Okay?
So let me pause you there for one moment, Vince, and please, viewers, if you all have any questions, comments, or concerns about the things that we are talking about, please let us know in the comments. So redlining, can you just, for those who may not know what redlining is, please kind of just give an overview of what that is and what that entails.
Okay, redlining is a very historical practice, and I'll just keep it very, very simple. The phrase comes from when a bank would look at communities that they're going to borrow from, right? And take a red pen and then just put a line where they walled out traditionally marginalized communities like the Black community, Latina community, and basically said, we are not going to do loans in those communities. And it's because of these laws that a lot of people don't realize, people who came around after these laws were put in place, that the reason why they're getting these loans is because of the law which prohibits redlining in the United States of America. Now we have a situation, really a crisis situation, where redlining will not be enforced by the federal government anymore. Then you have people who are, I used to always wonder, Nicole, when I used to ride through the Black community, and I would ride through predominantly white communities. I used to wonder, how come our community looks like the buildings don't look, and what happens, I think what that does, that gives a young child, as I was, right, a false sense of inferiority, right? Now, I've never felt inferior. I was raised by a school teacher, okay? My mom, right?
Yes.
So, but I mean, it will pop in my mind. Oh, I guess we just don't have it.
Okay? Right.
And only to learn as I entered this profession about redlining, and that historically, until recently in our history, our country, that lending institutions began loaning in Black communities in a profound way.
That's a more recent phenomena, right?
It's a more recent phenomena, absolutely. Solely because of the Fair Housing Act, and then the Fair Housing Act being enforced by the advocates and nonprofits and state and local entities that fight hard every day. Because it's not enough to know what the law is and you call someone. I will say that the state of Florida is blessed with dedicated professionals on a state and local level who care about them. But we can't help them if they don't advocate for themselves,
right,
and if they don't report it. And the advocating is very, very important. Because one of the things I ask people whenever I speak at functions or events is raise your hand if you've ever called your congressional office before.
All right. Well, we're going to do that. Look, we're going to pause. We're going to ask our viewers if you have called your congressional representative, let us know in the comments. Give us a thumbs up, a church finger, something. Let us know in the comments. If you have reached out to your congressional representative, let us know. And I see Miss Rashonda Macon has joined us. Thank you for being here. She's here in Tallahassee. So let us know. And then no shame. It's, no judgment if you haven't.
It's okay. It's
No
okay.
judgment if you have. So let us know if you have reached out to your congressional representative.
Yeah, and believe me, no shame. If you're in Tallahassee or Tampa, wherever, it would think it takes me, let's see, about 3 hours to drive there to get you, and takes about how many hours from West Palm Beach to Tallahassee? About 8 hours, about 6 hours, right?
Yeah, about 6. About 6.
But on a serious note, folks, it's extremely important because when I was on Capitol Hill in September, and I visited Congressman Mast's office, and his person was not aware that handles housing was not aware that HUD had issued a letter saying that if there is an agency, a Fair Housing Initiative, Fair Housing Assistance Program agency, which are governmental agencies that receive funding from HUD in order to conduct HUD investigations in Palm Beach County, like the Florida Commission and the Palm Beach County Office of Equal Opportunity, the Broward Human Rights Commission, Orlando Human Rights Commission. Well, in Florida, in South Florida, as well as Palm Beach County, we cover race and color, national origin, religion, disability, familial status, and disability. HUD just issued a letter saying that any municipality that includes anything other than the Federal Fair Housing Act could be defunded by HUD.
Wow.
So Palm Beach County adds marital status, age, sexual orientation, gender identity, or expression. But the state of Florida doesn't cover everything. It just covers the Federal Fair Housing Act.
Correct.
But it is a direct threat to fair housing in the communities if administrative agencies that handle that administrative process, Palm Beach Office of Opportunity, right, which covers other protected categories. Now, the way things worked in the past, which was correct, that as long as you covered what's covered in the Fair Housing Act, you were what's called substantially equivalent under the Fair Housing Assistance Program, like the Florida Commission. Florida Commission operates in a way, a very profound and professional way, covers those protected categories which the state only covers. But Palm Beach County and Broward County and any other municipality, not only in Florida, but throughout the country, that adds protected categories is in danger, will be in danger of losing their substantially equivalency, right? And I had to let Congressman Brian Mast's office, as well as Lois Frankel and others in Congress, aware of that. None of them knew anything about it.
Yeah.
And that's one of the most important things. None of them knew that HUD, the attempt to cut off all funding for fair housing, okay, with organizations until we came forward to them.
So let me just pause you right there. So I want the viewers to really understand the importance of this, right? So he's saying that because of the overlay that the local municipality, and in this case, we're talking Palm Beach County, has placed on top of the federal protected classes, HUD now HUD is the U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development, which fair housing falls under their purview, has come out with this letter stating that if you do anything outside of, if you include any protected classes outside of the federal protected classes, you could lose your um
Your substantial equivalency, meaning that what you're doing is not equivalent to what they're trying to do. Now, one thing that's also in Broward, it protects veterans, it protects battered women. They have that added. So if you include anything else, and it's really something that was shocking to me, and was shocking to the representatives in Congress when I brought that to their attention.
So is there anything that our congressional members or the public for that matter that we can do to get HUD to do away with this?
The most important thing, and I'm glad, I'm so happy to be here because one of the things I focus on is empowering as an advocate, helping people empower themselves.
Yes.
Right? So you look and see what congressional district you are in the state of Florida.
Okay.
Find out the phone number of that office. Call the congressional representative. Now, you're not going to get the congressional representatives, of course, right? They run every 2 years and they got to raise money. Okay, they don't have time to talk to people all the time. Okay, but you have to make them aware that you do not want redlining to not be enforced anymore. You would like the congressman or the congresswoman to support the affirmatively furthering fair housing rule. And what happens is when a congressperson asks their staff, they have a congressperson has a cabinet, and you have housing has so on. They sit at the table and they say, what are the calls saying when it comes to this?
Right.
What is the call? And when they hear, well, nobody's calling about it, okay, we can do it. I'll just vote against it. But believe you me, when a congressperson is told by a person in a specific position that, oh, it's running 90 to nothing, it's running 75 to 25, that people want fair housing fully funded. Fair housing has never been fully funded in this country like it should be, right? Most people would probably consider, when you look at the funding nationwide, right, and the problem, most people would probably say that's a skeleton crew. Okay, when I think, and that just came about in my mind because if something is not fully funded, that's happening to millions and millions of people, right, around the country, right, where you have people doing a superhuman job. We're doing a superhuman job at the Florida Commission when it comes to the work they have to do. A superhuman job, okay? And in Palm Beach County, our agency, the Palm Beach Office Equal Opportunity, with the amount of staff they have, a superhuman job. It's a superhuman lift for them, right? Yeah. And then HUD itself has cut 80% of the fair housing department. It was a superhuman job before they cut
it. Before the cuts, yes.
So now they've cut it, and they have furloughed where some whole regional offices, when it comes to Palm Beach County, the regional office in Atlanta for fair housing, the regional office in Texas, and around the country, regional offices have been completely gutted and shut down, right? So basically, you have to contact your representative. How did that poll go, by the way, while I'm preaching? I'm going to cut into my sermon.
We got only two people responded affirmatively. So Dante raised his hand and Malcolm did. Marcus said he has not reached out to his.
Okay. But see, one thing, and I'm not, and I hope people don't take this in a way that I'm condemning anyone. But until I started going to the halls of Congress, I never did it. Right?
Right.
It's not something that people think of doing. But
Mm-hmm.
basically, what we're having to do this for over almost 25 years, right?
Yeah.
Going in the halls of Congress, helped me understand the importance of it. Just an average person, which I am, and most people are,
Mm-hmm.
calling and just leaving a message. You might not get anyone. Leave
Mm-hmm.
a message.
Yep.
Said, I just want to let the congressman know my name is such and such, such and such. I live such and such address
Mm-hmm.
in the state of Florida, right? Because one thing they do is react to their constituents. So if you're calling, you want to give your address because they want to know, does that person live in my district?
Right.
And then you say fair housing should be fully funded. I believe fair housing should be fully funded. I believe that a HUD should be fully funded.
Mm-hmm.
I'm against the slash in funding for a HUD and 80% of people not at HUD that were there before
Mm.
before the Doge cuts. I believe that redlining is a priority. I believe that the affirmatively furthering fair housing rule is a priority.
Mm-hmm.
I believe, and you don't have to say all these things at one time. Just call and leave a message about fully funding nonprofit organizations, fully funding the FIP program, the Fair Housing Initiative program, which this agency operates under, fully funding the FAP program. You can say, or just say, I believe fair housing activities should be fully funded. You can wrap it up that way. But definitely get involved. It's up
Yeah.
to us. It's up to you, the individual, to let people who you're paying, they're taking taxes out of your dollars. You know what I liken it to? And it's not to insult our congressional representatives.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like the inmates, basically, it's like the inmates running the prison right now, right?
Mm.
The people who work for us are doing what they want to do. And then again, you can't blame them because they don't hear from it. They don't hear about it.
Right. So we got to speak up. So what if everybody on this live real time reached out to their congressional representative and stated that they wanted fair housing to be fully funded? And then they encouraged 5 other people to reach out to their representative to say that they want fair housing to be fully funded.
Absolutely.
We can make that type of
That
impact.
would be a tremendous impact
Mm-hmm.
because I can imagine that a lot of the congressional representatives in the state of Florida have never got any call on it, have not received a call. And I can only visit the congressional representatives in my area because congressional representatives won't meet with anyone if they're not in their district.
Right.
Which I can understand. You got 400 and something uh, representatives
Mm-hmm.
in the House of Representatives, and now the state senators will, not the state senators, but the senators from the state of Florida that
Right.
are in the U.S. Senate,
Mm.
they'll meet with you.
Yeah.
But try calling Rick Scott's office.
Mm.
Call Rick Scott's office. If you get an answer machine, say that I believe that fair housing should be fully funded. I'm calling. My name is such and such. I live in the state of Florida, and I just want to let the senator know that I want fair housing fully funded. I
Yeah.
want HUD fully funded and state and local agencies, nonprofit agencies fully funded.
Love it. Love it. All right. So Dante, and he wrote this comment earlier, but he said, guess where the work is coming to? And I think he was saying that with regards to all of the uh fair housing workers that have been furloughed or
Yeah,
their regional offices have been closed. So he's saying it's coming to him because he's
yeah,
in the Florida Commission on Human Relations, which is the state. So
that's right. That's
yeah.
right.
Hmm.
Thanks for that, Dante, because I knew that was going to happen, and I know that the Florida Commission and the staff there, the tremendously working and dedicated staff, are swamped.
Yes. Absolutely. Absolutely. So I'm going to give you an opportunity to give some closing remarks and tell folks how they can connect with you.
Okay, thank you so much. First of all, I want to uh, give a shout out to you, Nicole. It's been both a privilege and an honor to be here tonight with you, and I hope this is the beginning of a beautiful partnership, uh,
Yes.
so that we can both achieve the goals that we both believe in. And you know, when I saw wellness at first,
Uh-huh.
I said wellness, but what we do is wellness. If a person is worrying about finding a place to live,
Mm-hmm.
you can get sick from that.
You
Okay?
can.
If you've been turned away from a apartment complex,
Mm-hmm.
and because you have a disability, or because you have children, or because of your race, or your color and national origin, or because of your gender, that gives that it's a physical thing that happens within you,
Mm-hmm.
that you can suffer from depression. Okay? You can suffer from illness that you probably would not have from the stress of simply trying to find a roof over your head.
Listen, stress will kill you. Absolutely kill you.
Absolutely.
Mm.
And I just want to let everyone know that we're here. The Florida Commission is here, right? My buddy Dante, the Fair Housing Center of the Greater Palm Beaches is here. Hope Incorporated in Miami is here. You have some other agencies in around the state of Florida. One thing about us is that we're not we can take complaints anywhere around the state of Florida, right? And we can help someone process those complaints. And I'm sorry, Dante. And then the next thing you know, that complaint is processed through HUD, and it winds up on the off on because it is not in a municipality. It winds up in the Florida Commission, and then we act as advocates for those individuals. So I'm sorry, Dante. You're gonna be getting some more after the night. I just don't know what to say. Maybe I have to take you to dinner the next time I'm up in Tallahassee. But so feel free to reach out. Our website provides a lot of information pertaining to your right. www.fairhousingflorida.com. Your right to live wherever you choose to live, regardless of your status. Or you can visit our X platform. You can visit our TikTok platform. You can visit our Instagram or Facebook. And please, please, please do like us on Facebook. The young people in the office would be very upset if I didn't say this. I can see them with raising signs. Sometimes when I do this and they're here, they're like shooting, they're like holding up clipboards and stuff, right? Follow us, please, and like us on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and X. So again, it's been a privilege and an honor to come before all of you today, and I'm looking forward to working with all of you as we move forward and we keep up the fight for fair housing.
Absolutely. Yeah. So thank you so much, Vince, for spending some time with me this evening. And please, y'all, reach out. I'm sure he, regardless of where you are, will be willing to answer questions and point you in the right direction to get your fair housing needs met. And for those of you who may be new to Conversations with Nicole, I invite you to subscribe to the Conversations with Nicole YouTube channel specifically. We are here Mondays and Wednesdays at 8:30 p.m. Eastern, focus on mental health and wellness. And sometimes the wellness is not um, a physical wellness, although some of the things that we talk about can lead to wellness, that your physical wellness not being intact, but you definitely want to, again, everybody should have a safe place to call home that's affordable, that's stress free. And if you don't have access to housing because of housing discrimination based on these protected classes, then it's not going to be well with you. Trust and believe. So, again, thank you so much, Vince, for your time
My
tonight. Thank you
pleasure.
for all that you do on the fair housing front. Keep fighting the good fight and keep us posted. We definitely want to have you come back as these things develop that you've talked to us about today, the redlining, the funding for fair housing, all of these things that it may be just a ticker tape across the news screen and we miss it, right? Because they'll say, oh yeah, we shared this with the public, yeah, just in this scrolling banner going across, and we have missed it. You even said the congressional members didn't know, right? And so you're bringing awareness to these things, so we really appreciate the work that you're doing, and I hope this has benefited you all, and if it has, let us know. We want to definitely keep this conversation going. So please share this information, share this link with somebody that you think will benefit from it, and contact your congressional representatives and let them know you want fair housing to be fully funded. You want the affirmative fair housing rule to continue to go forth, and you want redlining to be monitored. You want it to be enforced, that they cannot redline. You want that. I'm telling you.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yes. All right. So we do have a few comments. Dante, he said, all is not lost and don't be discouraged. We have to collectively use our voices and let your requests be known. Closed mouths don't get fed, literally.
Literally.
Mhm.
Absolutely.
Literally. All right. So he said, good job, Vince. Thank you, Dante.
Thank you,
Ruthie,
Dante.
thank you. Thank you, Miss Ruthie. And thank you,
Thank you,
Miss
Miss Ruthie.
Jeanette.
Thank you,
Yes, Miss
Miss
Jeanette.
Jeanette.
Thank you. Thank you. All right. Rashonda, she said this provides healthy awareness and strategies of educating people on how to navigate for fair housing. This is wellness. Yes. Hashtag red line enforce. Yes, ma'am. Thank you so much,
Thank
Rashonda.
you so much.
Yes.
Thank you
Yes.
so much, ma'am.
Yes. All right. And my family freshman brother, Mr. Ishmael Rents in Gainesville, he says, stay vigilant. Thank you, Ish.
Thank you. Absolutely.
Mm,
Absolutely.
we appreciate you so much. All right, good people. Well, you all be safe. I know it's FSU homecoming here in Tallahassee. So y'all Seminoles be safe out in these streets. I know we fall back this weekend. So, but you get an extra hour on Sunday. All right. All right. Well, we will see y'all next time. Have a great evening. Bye.
Good night, everyone.